Very terrible incident happened on the 7th of November 1996. Aircraft 86 of the ADC flight was a Nigerian domestic flight operated by ADC airline from Port Harcourt to Lagos. The crew on board operating the flight lost control of the aircraft while trying to avoid a mid-air collision, leaving the plane into a crash and killed all the 144 passengers. Plane crashed into a lagoon, and this plane crash remains the fourth worst plane crash in Nigeria history. With no survivor, their remainings were picked and they gave them a mass burial, and they were buried in a town called Itokin, and the government actually created an arcade where they gave them this mass burial just so their loved ones can come and see them, drop flowers once in a while when they want to feel close to them. I've decided to go and see this arcade and also get the full history of what actually happened and also get details of this town called Itokin. Come along with me, let's explore.
My name is Shivlaji Jalili Okpeyemi, but the Itokin is located along the lagoon, and that lagoon is called Aye River. That Aye came from long distance, from Benin Republic, through Badagry Lagoon, towards Lagos Lagoon, to Itokin Lagoon. And that Aye is a female. Even the indigene cannot even throw a stone across the river, and the non-indigene cannot even sweep across the river and swim back. There was an incident that happened. I think they were coming from Lagos. They are going for an event, and suddenly they had a stopover, and the man decided to sweep across. So along his swimming rather, he could not come up.
So do people worship this Aye River?
We do worships. That's a fantastic question I'm arriving. By 26th of December is a date that we worship it. We worship that river, and all the Itokin indigenes in Nigeria, in diasporas, they comes together to worship it.
There was a plane crash that happened in 1996 here in Itokin, and they gave them a mass burial. Some people said the plane crash is still here. How true is this? Or could you please help me shed more light on the plane crash and the events? Like what really happened?
Okay, the plane crash came up on the 7th November 1996. But the plane crashed along this our lagoon towards Oriba, and the community, the village that the plane collapsed, named Egon Shonyido. But because of the community effort, because of the individual victims that involved, because of the government, because then our council chairman, Honorable Doyi, they now brought them here to give them so that they will be in a public place. Because that place is along the Lagoon Road. That is why they brought them here, and they did mass burial. And I think those on board, they were almost 134. They are
no survivor.
No survivor. Even with the captains, with the hostess, everyone, there was no survivor. There was no survivor. But they did the mass burial here. Before the issue of the plane crash, the white man that was engineer that constructed that bridge, his name is Sir Engineer William Self. He was buried here, but the Julius Berger, they has not taken it up to be a tourist center. And likewise, the airplane. If the airplane operators have taken it the engineer, the Julius Berger PLC, they've taken up. People will be coming to come as a tourist. They will come, they will see, maybe the only thing they do, by November 7, you see them, those involved in that plane crash, they will come, their family, they will just come, they will bring remembrance, they will bring a flower, and they will go away. But they need to be immortalized. So if government or individual can help, so I think it will attract people.
Rumor has it that Julius Berger was buried in this town, and there's a lot of rumor about his death. What can you say? How did Julius Berger even end up being buried in this town, being a white man? Can you tell us something about the history of Julius Berger that you know, and why he was even buried in the market?
Julius Berger, I told you, the engineer that constructed that bridge, his name is Sir Self Williams, Engineer Self Williams. He is an engineer. During the construction of that bridge, he took his vehicle. He was driving to Ibefun. Along Ibefun Road, this is Itokin, this is Ibefun Road, and he had an accident, and he died. And while he died, because he married a native of this town.
Okay, that's Julius Berger.
Not Julius Berger,
Okay,
the engineer.
The engineer.
That is the engineer. He's the one that died and buried here. So not Julius Berger.
Was not buried.
No, he's not. He's not. He's not.
Wow.
Cut me. That bridge was opened in 1968 during Mobolaji Johnson, during Gowon. So I wasn't born, but I met them. My father, late Sahib Adesanya Raji, was a security on that bridge. So I met the Julius Berger on ground. And also, I work with Julius Berger. For many years, I worked in Plot 1. I worked in Ogbere. Later, I was transferred to Akwa Ibom in Uyo. So they had been in existence in this town. He was nevered. He was nevered. He was nevered. And in furtherance to this, there is also a festival, a shrine we worship. We call it Obaluwaye. We just held it last month. So by the time that Obaluwaye was not sacrificed, we observed some little problems, and which sometimes it leads to complex. You see people to measles, people will sick, eat everything until we sacrifices, in which we did last month. So we always try to avoid them yearly, to sacrifice them. We do it, we do Obaluwaye, we do Aye, Eluku, AB, and others ones that little to be mentioned. Itokin, Ọmọ Ayé Gboro Owó Tètè Múre.